Hi all. Today we'll see about how we can create a Salesforce record from any third-party system without any login and OAuth. So here I'll go to setup and in the find box I'll search for sites. Click on this site and here I'm going to create a new site here. I'll name this as public API and make it as active. For active site homepage, select any of the VF page here. Select any of the page here. So I'm going to select in maintenance and simply click on save. Now our site is created. So this is the site which we created now. And the next step is to create an Apex class. So I'll go back to my developer console. I'll create a new REST resource class here. File, new Apex class. I'll name this as public account creator. First thing is I'm going to make this class as global. And I'm going to make this as REST resource. And URL mappings, I'm going to give it as slash, maybe I'll say create account slash star. Now I'm going to create a new post method here. I'll say @http post. I'm going to create a new method. For now, I'm going to make this the return type as string. So I'll name it as create account. So here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Postman here. I'll make a request. I'll call this REST resource class. I'm going to pass the account record here. So for example, for creating an account, we need name and industry. So I'm going to pass name and industry as a request body to this REST resource class. And here I'm going to create an account here. So first thing is I'm going to get the request body. So the request body contains two things here. I'm going to pass name and industry. So I need to get the request in this post method. So for that I'm going to use this thing, REST request, name it as request, and I'm going to get it from the REST context dot request. So here I got the request. I'm going to get the request body here. So request body, or I can say simply request body equal to request dot request body. So I'm going to convert this to a string to string. So this is the request body, and let's see what are the errors here. Okay, so I'm going to say URL mapping here. Yeah, that should be fine. Now in this request body we will be getting the account name and the industry. So we're gonna convert this JSON into a deserialize. I'm gonna do a deserialize and convert this JSON string into an object. So for that I'm gonna create a wrapper class here. I'll say account request is my wrapper class name, and inside this I have two variables. One is name and industry. So here I'm going to use this wrapper class to deserialize my JSON string here. So what I'm going to do here is I'll say account request, I'll make it as input, and I'm going to say JSON dot deserialize. Here I'm going to use this request body, the JSON body, comma, the account request dot class. And here I'm going to convert this output into the account request object. Now I'm going to create an account here. So I'll say account ACC is equal to new account, ACC dot name equal to the name coming from the input from the request body, and account dot industry is equal to input dot the name industry coming from the request body. And finally I'll say insert dot insert as user acc, and I'm going to return the account ID here. So I'll do this and I'm going to save it, and also I'll make this as with sharing. Now we created the Apex class here. So I'll again go back to the site which we created, and here what I'm going to do here is I'll go to public access settings, and I'll go to enabled Apex class access, click on edit, and I'm going to search for my Apex class here. This is the Apex class which I created, public account creator. Enable the permission for this Apex class. As we are running in the user context, we also need to give access on account object. So what I'll do is I'll search for account object. This is for the field level security. I'll click on edit. Click on save. So now I'll go back to Postman now. So here I'll create a new HTTP request. I'll click on new, click on HTTP, and I'll make this as post, and I'm gonna get the URL. So I'll go back to the sites again, the sites which I created. So this is the URL which I'm gonna use. I'll right click on this and I'll click on copy link address, and I'll go back to the Postman and I'll copy this here, and I'm gonna save this first. So I'll say create account and click on save. So now I'm gonna add these things /services/apex rest and the create account, this thing. So this will be my URL here, and I'm gonna add one header here of content type. It will be application/json, and I'm not gonna add any authorization here. I'll click on body. I'm not gonna add any token, anything into the headers here. I'll click on raw. I'll give the JSON here. So here I'm gonna pass name. I'll pass it as testing Varun, and I'm gonna pass the industry as well. So I'll say industry as retail, and I'm gonna click on send here. Yeah, you can see I got the account ID here. Let me open this account ID in my Salesforce, or I'll go back to the Salesforce instance. I'll try to open the account record. So here you can see account name got populated and industry is populated with retail. Thanks for watching.